Hello again, I'm back. I think I have figured out how I want to do my layout of my pages. This is the front cover. I went ahead and matted the first one because I needed to make sure I had my measurements correctly before I did anything else. But this is basically the envelope style page. This has a little magnet hidden underneath here. I'm going to end up covering this, but just to show you now, this will open up like so, and you can add a pocket, you can add whatever you want. I am going to leave it plain, um, just because I want her to have plenty of room to put pictures or whatever she wants in there. So that will fold up like that, and there's a little metal piece. Instead of using an extra magnet, I took a piece of, well, this is the lid off of a can, and I cut it into small pieces, and it's hidden underneath my paper. I'll show you on the next one, but that way it doesn't add extra bulk um, to the page and have something sticking out. So that will be our first page. So on the second page, I decided I was going to go with this setup. Sadly, I just got one 8x8 pad, and it is barely enough to cover the pages, not the insides. I have a 12x12 coming, so then I will cover the insides, but until then, I'm going to work with my 8x8s, get them going. And so you'll see I have a magnet here. Get a little closer here. There's a magnet there, and it will be, I'm thinking I'll put it on the top of the page here, and then cover it with my pattern paper and an embellishment maybe. But you'll need two of those for this page, and those aside, don't get those near your computers, they're very strong. So these will be my two large flat covers, and then I'm going to turn it over. And I thought, well, instead of cutting out all the elements, all the little tag pieces that come with the packet, I cut this like so, cut it apart so that it'll cover the flaps perfectly, so that'll be the back side of my flaps. And then the two pockets here, I decided I was going to cover them as one, and then I can add photo mats to it, whatever she wants. And then this is the extra piece that came off of it that I trimmed off, and I just cut a little notch in the center just so that it would slide down. Or if I would have done it that way, it would have been really cute, but I didn't. So it will slide down just inside the pocket to cover that little bit of a space there. Okay, it's being fussy. I can tell you, it's been a couple of days. Yesterday was a battlefield in my craft room. I battled wasps and flies because it's so hot here. Everything is coming in looking for water, so I had wasps, I had flies, and I had ants, and they were horrible. Okay, so this is what I'm going to go for with this. So this is my little space for my pockets here. I'm going to cover this as a double, just as cover both of them so it's like one, but you'll have your double pockets underneath. And then my two flaps on this one, I will cover them like so, and then my main page. Now see, these are the metal pieces I cut out. Like I said, this is just off a coffee can lid, and I'll place them underneath my paper, and I put it down so that when I fold it over and I add my magnet, Oops. Come on. Oh, these are really strong magnets. When I add my magnet, it will hold my flap down. Same with this one. I will put it down. I'm going to round my corners on it so it's not sharp and won't poke through the page or anything, but it will be, my paper will be over it, and again my magnet to hold it down. And then on the back side of this one, I decided, I know this is a funky pocket, but this is going to work out because you actually only need 2 sheets of paper to get this effect. And what I did was I made templates for myself. This is the larger pocket. I put my cardstock in, just a plain piece of white cardstock, and I butted it right up against, let's see, these pieces. As you can see, they're not full sheets, they're not full pages. This is what I cut off of this sheet. So this will be the bottom part, and this will tuck in, and it will be covered perfectly for the back, the very back piece. This is my oopsie. Instead of just covering it up and saying, oh yeah, this is how I did it, I'm going to show you. I cut this piece out, and I don't know where my head was at, but I wasn't paying attention, and I cut off too much on this side right here. Can you see that? Let's see. Okay, focus camera. There we go. So I cut a little too much off of this piece right here. Here, see it better this way. So there's that space. So instead of panicking, because like I said, I only have an 8x8 pad, and it's just enough to cover the pages, barely. So I took a piece off of what I cut. I inked around the bottom here, and along the top, and along this side. I cut this piece, inked across here and here, but not this side and not this side, because I don't want that line showing. And I'm going to piece it in when I glue it down, and unless you really, really, really look and know it's there, it will blend in. So there are fixes. Okay, so what I was saying is I made my template for these pockets. I put in first the small, a piece of plain cardstock, just white cardstock, and I cut it, I traced around it with a pencil and cut it out, and then I laid it on top of my piece, and I just slowly trimmed off little slivers at a time on the left side and the bottom until I got the spacing that I wanted around the paper. So that was that one. And then I did the same on the big pocket in the back. I put a whole sheet of cardstock in, traced around it, and then cut it out. And then once I cut it out, I put it inside the small pocket, like so. Traced around it again so that I know this is the section that will actually be showing. So all I need is a section that will fit this way, and I can have the bottom half for something else. So that's how I figured that one out. And I went ahead and inked these, and I'm not going to bore you with sticking them all down right now. I will do that in a minute and come back. but I want to show you how to do the envelope style. Again, I cut out template pieces, and then I thought, well, that's silly, I really don't need it. It's triangles. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to turn my book back around to face me so I've got it right side up for me, otherwise my page will end up upside down. So I chose to do this map piece, if you can see that really well. I'm going to learn how to find my camera here. And then I'm going to use this also as a map, as the inside, so that when it flips out, it looks like a map just opening up. So, and then on the outside piece, I'm going to use the stamps, and then on the opposite page, full page, I'm going to use the Come Away With Me. So, making sure that I have my paper facing up, because it's going to be this way. You want to take your trimmer. You really don't need the arm out. Okay. Oops, knocking things over now. Okay. You want to place your paper in your trimmer on the diagonal, corner to corner, in the cutting tray, and make your cut that way. So this will be the top, and this will be your left-hand side. Placing the long center diagonal cut along your guide down here. Align this with your point, align your cutting notch there, I don't know, and cut. So there you will have those two pieces like that. Let's see. Let's bring it up better. There we go. So it'll be like that. So it goes aside. Grab the other piece, and again align it in against your edge there. Point in the cutting right there and cut. So there you would have those two pieces. So that's the front page, and you're going to cut that facing you. Now for the back page, it's a little bit different. I'm going to do it upside down because it's going to flip. If you do something that is non-directional, like if you do just a pattern piece like the stripes, it really doesn't matter. Just make sure you have them all going in the same direction, I guess. It's just a personal preference. For the middle piece, it's going to be inside this way. So again, I'm going to set it in. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to set it in this way. So facing down, the piece that I want showing will be facing down. And this still, like I said, it's a matter of trial and error. I'm not sure if I'm doing this 100% correct myself, but I'm going to wing it. And because it's got writing all over it, and it's really non-directional, it's all over the place, so I think it will work out. skin cut. Excuse me. And because my envelope pages are all, I rounded all the edges, all the points that meet in the center with my 1/4 inch corner chomper. Do the same with these as well. Just clip those corners a little bit. And instead of using everyone's go-to as vintage photo, and I love vintage photo, but I also love, this is Gathered Twigs. It's a little bit darker, and I kind of like the look of it. So that's what I went for. So all I do is ink the edges just ever so slightly, nothing major. She likes the edges done, but nothing, not too much. And this will be an album for her, so I want to make it the way she likes it. So yeah, I'm just going to cover ink my edges. And when I apply these to the page itself, I use wet glue simply because it gives me a little more wiggle room, and it's just, it works for me. So you can use the glue of your choice, tape, whatever you feel is best for you. I like the extra little time I have to get it situated with the wet glue. And although I love the Scotch Quick Dry adhesive, I'm not happy with the white lid that they have. This is the lid. I don't like this. I wish they would go back to the red, thinner lid. It worked better. I know many people felt the same way, and I don't know why you would change a good thing. If it works, don't fix it. So again, I'm just inking my edges. I'm doing this with you so that you can see, excuse me, you can see that it just go along the perimeter of them. And I will show you how I attach them. And magnets as well. I also will show you how I attach my little flap hinge, the little closure on the front here. This is just Tyvek, and this is one of the chipboard pieces from the collection. And I'm telling you, I love that stuff. Oh, this paper is so pretty. So, I'm almost finished with this one, I promise. It's kind of like watching paint dry or the grass grow. Everybody's seen this, but I just want to show you how I attach my pages. And then and I promise I won't hold you up any longer. Push it. Okay. So I'm going to set this aside a minute. And I'm going to bring in my book facing me, because otherwise our page will be upside down. And yes, I have all my pages. I went through and laid everything out how I want them to lay in the book, so that I can remember. I'm not going to stick down this page yet because we'll need to put down our little metal piece. And for the flap, what I use is, you can use cardstock, but I figured I have the craft text, so I thought I would go ahead and use that. And it's measures 1 inch, and I only need about 2 inches wide. So I'm one of those frugal crafters, I guess, that saves every little scrap because you never know if you need it. And I round the corners of that as well with a 1/4 inch, just because I think it looks nicer. Not that anybody's gonna see it, but I'll know it's there. I'll apply. This is Alien's Turbo Tacky Glue. I really like it. It's convenient because I can actually get it at Walmart or something like that, so that I don't have, in case I don't feel like driving the 50 miles to Chico, which I don't like driving that far very often. So glue that down just so that it overlaps this flap on the left just a little bit. Make sure it's stuck real well. Okay. Then I want to cover the back side of it here with my inside papers. That's why I went ahead and stuck that down now. So, starting with, let's see. Let's go ahead and start with the outside papers. So, tuck that under. And this will go here. This is the right side up here. This is the right side up on this, and the right side up. So, you see, it's just covering, just piecing it on. So, again, I just add my glue around the perimeter, just a little in the center. Line it up on my envelope, my little flap, the right spacing, and stick it down. And I usually keep a little paper towel or wipe just to get any oozing out off of it, so that it looks good. So that's stuck down. And just work your way around. I'm sorry, I'm off camera again. Like I said, I'm still learning. Please be patient with me. Line that up. Stick it down. This one's a lot easier the second time around. First one, like I said, it just kind of, it's really for a loop for a minute. It's super simple, but it just, something different, and I had to actually stop and think. Oh my gosh. God forbid I start thinking, and then we're all in trouble. Now you know why I say, why I call my blog Creative Chaos, because I have, my train of thought goes in like 9 million directions, and a lot of times it's real, and there are no survivors. But, you know, I just keep chugging along. Glue right on top there. So what I mean, it gives me a little wiggle room because I don't have the steadiest of hands. I never have, and So that's how it will look with our little flat piece over. I haven't decided what chipboard element I'm going to put on here to cover up the magnet, but I will be putting the magnet on here as well. I just use glossy accents to stick the magnet on, or actually I could just use score tape. That would probably work even just as, I don't know. What did I do with them? Oh, right here. So these are the magnets that I use, the super magnets, and these are the 1/4 inch magnets. They're really, really strong. So, like I said, keep them away from any electronics, your phone, your computer, because magnets will deactivate or erase data. Will erase, or, not erase, but it will deactivate your, can't think, your credit cards. So what you'll do is I'll stick it down, make sure I have it in the right direction for my middle piece. Where did I put that? Right there. Here we go. So, sure. So I set a metal piece in there. Oops, let me just flip my magnet off. Okay. Just, you want to make sure it's on the right way to actually catch the metal underneath. Although it's not another magnet. Magnets you have to have north and south, otherwise they'll push apart if they're not the correct way. So that's where my magnet will be, and I will. There we go. I will just add a piece of score tape over it for now, just to hold it so I don't lose it, and it's in place. And then I will turn, I'll open this up, and this is a magnet. No. Okay, so let's see this. So this is just a piece of coffee lid. And you know, tin scissors are tough. You can use tin snips. Just be very careful because your corners and edges are sharp, and it will actually punch. The corner chopper will punch this. Takes a little bit of, maybe a little bit of muscle, not much. If I can do it, anyone can do it. So, and that we will. Let's stick a piece of tape on the back of that for now. Let's see. And this is going to come over this way. And make sure that my metal piece is going to be underneath. And tape to stick down to. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is my metal piece, and I want to lay it. I put a piece of score tape on the back. And close my flap there. Make sure it is in the right spot so it will catch the magnet. And then carefully remove the tape back in from the metal piece. And laying it down. And just press it. And voila, you have that. There's your magnet flap. And using the metal, just a thin metal piece, is helps prevent all the thick, bulky, and it saves you magnets as well. You don't have to use quite as many magnets, which is nice. So this page will not this page. This page will cover that. Still got to ink my edges and stick it down, but I'll lay it here so I know how I want this to fold out. So I want this here, here. Like I said, it's going to be every which direction, it seems like, but it's fine by me because it just looks like a map folded out, and the writing and the maps are in every direction as well, so I think it goes pretty good. So it would be like opening up, unfolding a map, and the old maps, the paper maps that you used to get at the gas stations. My dad had a stack, I swear it was like this thick, of maps when we went across country when I was younger. It was awesome. So again, I'm applying my glue to the flat piece. I'm going to remove the center one out of my way. I'm going to align it on the flat piece, making sure that it's good. Stick it down. Now you can choose to do this, mat your pages before you stick them down in the book, but this seems to work best for me because I can see the flow of the pages and I know where I want them to go, and like I said, creative chaos. I can't do things simply, I guess. I have a process that I have to go through with each album that I make or each project that I make. I don't work in order all the time. I'm trying to, for the sake of these videos that I've been making, but yeah, I'm just crazy. What can I say? I like it. Again, apply your glue, tape backing, whatever you want, to the flat piece, and you can see that really well. Line that up and stick it down. And I want to say thank you to all of you that have subscribed to me. If you don't know, I feel very honored, very, very honored that you like what I do. Everyone has a method to their own madness, and this is mine. I enjoy paper crafting. It's my relaxation time. Been asked, how can you relax if all you're doing is figuring out numbers and measurements? And I like it. Oops, someone stepped me. Okay, so then we have our flat pages. Let me zoom out just a little bit so you can see. So there's our inside flat pages. Our map page will go in here once I ink the edges. I'll stick it down, and then you fold them over. This will go over and it will stick down. Right now it's really stiff still because we just put the paper on, but it will stick down into the hole. And then I will decide what chipboard piece. What chipboard piece to put on there? Let's see. Since it's the maps and the stamps, I want something. I kind of like this one. Let's see. Oh, let's get the pop out in the center now. This is her right here. It says Lookout World. Hang on, I'll show you. It's not a boat, but it says Lookout World. That's her. Lookout World. She's on her way. Still can't believe she's going to graduate. And that I will center in there and stick it onto my piece here, which will cover my magnet and my craft text. I may have to trim off a little of my craft text, which is fine. But I'll put a piece of seam binding. I have some of a snug hug, or hug snug. I'll say it backwards. Seam binding. Just need a short piece. And I could spray it if I wanted, but I'm not sure. Oh, there it is. Because it has the raw chipboard here. I'm going to cover it, but I'm going to take out these little notchy pieces that were attached to where it was attached to the sheet. Just get them off and over there. And then my finger crossed and make sure I got them really well. Okay. And I'm going to take for this the vintage photo distress stains. I only have 2 of these distress stains. I need to get more. I don't need to. I want to. But yeah, I know I use a lot of the distress stain in the vintage photo. So I just go around the edges just to cover the raw chipboard. Then I will take my seam binding and I'll stick it through. So, come on. Slide that through and pull it tight. Just to kind of snug it on there. Let's see how much of a tail I want. There you go, right there. Looks good. Okay, and I want to trim this down just a smidge more because it will stick out with the smaller chipboard piece. A magnet covered with my score tape, and I'm going to line this up best as I can in the center here. It's pretty good, and stick it down. And then we have it. And I'll go back and cover that piece when I get it all configured. So that's that page. Okay, let's go back to our double diagonal pockets, which is this one here. And I showed you how I cut this out using my templates here. So what I'm going to do is start with the back piece and add my glue. There we go. Carol sent me some of the fine tip applicators. I just haven't gotten them filled yet. And yes, that's me, the Jetsons. The Jetsons ringtone is my message me ringtone. So I'm going to carefully slide this in. And almost had a major accident there. Okay. Get lined up. Ooh. Usually I would take my gold folder and rub over it, but I don't know where I went. It's routed legs and flew away. So this is the piece that I cut short. So what I want to do is stick this piece down, but not completely down on this side, and to fix that. So I'm adding my glue. And I'm going to carefully open this up and put this down in there. And I did put that glue on there, so I'll wrap that up real quick. Line that, and add some glue to my little fix-it piece. And set that down. And line that as well. And stick it down. See, easy peasy fix. You can't, well, at this angle I guess you can tell, but it's better than having too big of a gap to me, so this is an easy fix. And my last pocket piece over here. And I'm off camera, I'm sorry. Put that one there. Again, like I said, burnish it real well. I don't know what I do with my bone folder and my little fake bone folder. Oh, there you are. My little flat tool. This is actually a kitchen tool, so I just make sure I smooth out, make sure I have good stick to everything. Wipe off any excess glue. Make sure my pockets open well, and there you go. So that's that one. And then for the double pocket, double flat page, I'm going to take off my magnets. I'm going to go and I'm going to ink these edges, and I'll be right back.